Hi guys, Mr. Jaeger here, and welcome back to Star Citizen, and welcome to the first day of the Intergalactic Aerospace Expo 2953. Yes, we're here, and it's awesome, and I'm excited, and it's Alien Day, but it's fine because that's the first. It's only Alien Day. The first day is Alien Day, which means all the rest of the days, apart from Origin, is going to be freaking amazing. Oh, I'm so excited. So, before we get straight into the action, though, a couple of things to note. First, and rather more importantly, there seems to be a bit of a thing going on with frames when you go into New Babbage. Primarily when when you spawn in the New Babbage area. At first it's fine, like you go from your bed, you go downstairs. When you're in the lobby, something is weird because your frames start tanking quite severely. And when you reach the expo hall, it goes down to like 1 to 2 slideshow. It is bad, not going to sugarcoat it. If this is your first experience of Star Citizen, please note this is not normal. In every other IAE event I have been to, I have never experienced such bad frames. I'm hoping that they fix this as a hot fix, because something is just not working. I don't know what it is, but it's tanking every time I go onto it. So everywhere else, oh, you're fine. It's just once you get through the elevators, oh no, the frames get much better now. But still, that's the thing. And the other reason why I'm talking about it specifically is because actually in the area where you're introducing it, there is a stand called Citizens for Pyro. Any second now, in fact, I'll make a noise. Poink! This image I took when I could has the image, again, apologies for the heads-up display, but you can see the Citizens for Pyro, and it's like a display stand of all the stuff. Basically, it looks to be some kind of movement that is trying to get more people to move to Pyro. And obviously, since we've seen a number of videos and images, and even YouTube content creators making stuff for that, I'm really excited for it. And you can tell it's real gameplay because people are already bitching about the fact that there's PvP in Pyro, of course. But still, anyway, so regardless of that, just as a forewarning, please be advised, frames are bad. So yes, we're here though in IAE, and we're going to do what we do, which I've actually been doing for the last 4 years. So 2954 is going to be the 5-year mark, but we're 1 year away from that at least. So yes, let us have a look at this event day. Now, this day could potentially be the smallest of event days, considering that there's only one hallway, and of course we have our usual array of ground-based, of the holodeck area. But so far, it seems to be contained in one area, so this episode may not in fact be that long, but you know me, I like to ramble. So what exactly do I do in these events? Well, if you've not watched this kind of series before, I'd go through all of the ships in the day event, talking about them, giving a bit of a history, my own personal experiences with them, and what I think of them as a vessel goes, either aesthetically or weaponry wise as well. So, without further ado, let's get started. And if you do have any sort of questions or anything like that, or any kind of debating stuff, do let me know in the comment section down below. I am gonna be honest with you right now, I'm not much of an Alien fan. You'll hear me say Zeno a lot. For good reason, in my personal opinion, but still, Zeno and stuff, which means I don't really fly these vessels. So if you guys are Zeno lovers, let me know what you think about these ships, and the big scary one in the middle, which we're going to get to near the end, but still, hype, more hype. But anyway, let's get going. So we begin our day with the first day of the IAE, looking at the Banu Defender. Now, I don't know what company that is, I'm not even going to begin to describe it, so I'll just call it the Banu Defender. So, the Defender, or nicknamed the Crab, as you may notice the weird sort of rather happy-looking eyes from the ground perspective, is a 2-seater fighter aircraft. Though, to be fair, you could probably have it with one and it would still work just as well. There's a unique thing which we'll go into later, but the Banu Defender was, in my experience, the first alien ship I saw in Star Citizen. Like, there was the Glaive, but I'll be honest with you, I didn't really pay attention. Well, this was before I was really paying attention to various alien craft. So, in my experience, the Banu Defender was the first alien ship that sort of was released and came into my attention when, in my experiences playing Star Citizen. I think all the Cartualo was also out, but besides the point. So, you've got As alien ships go, it definitely fits the mark of being a Zeno ship. And it also fits the mark for being a rather interesting vessel, because it has, and to my knowledge, this is the only vessel that has these. This ship has hit scan weapons. Now, hit scans, for those who don't know, is where, unlike every other weapon in the game that Star Citizen has, it basically fires a projectile that needs to travel a distance before it can hit the target. Whereas hit scan weapons, such as these, which I've got the Star Citizen tool page, known as the Singe Cannon, size 2 Singe Cannon, mounted on size 3 gimbal mount. So these weapons are gimbaled, which is terrifying. Basically, what these weapons are weapons that you need only point the crosshair at the enemy, and the weapons travel, the speed of the projectile / the ability of the firing arc of the weapon is so quick that it will immediately hit the target. You don't have to lead, you don't have to do anything, you just have to keep your crosshairs painted on the target, and your guns will do the rest. Now, for a long time, initially when these weapons came out, they were kind of broken because you could mount these on the back of a fucking arrow. So you actually saw a lot of players, I remember seeing a lot of PvP players buying a Banu merchantman solely so that they could get the Singe cannons, and then they would drop them, put them in their arrows, and then they would be almost impossible to kill. They were devastating. I believe they even got removed for a time or nerfed into buggery before being re-added in a future update by CIG. It was that bad a situation. But I think nowadays, the weapon is not as good as it used to be. Perhaps the damage isn't as high as it could once was. But yeah, no, it's that is kind of terrifying. As I said, in terms of aesthetics, of the exterior, it looks okay. Really not a big fan of the interior, because they've decided to go all I'm actually inside a crab logic here. Living amenities, there is none. There is a locker at the back here, which is locked for some reason, but I think you'll be able to access maybe an inventory of the ship. Bearing in mind also, when it comes to the event displays, the ships that are in the showcase area are kind of bugged out, because obviously they're meant to not do anything, but still be somewhat interactable. So, in this respect, some ships may not have full functionality, or we can't really sort of say 100% for testing unless we actually go out and fly them. So going into the cockpit for the ship, going in for the Banu Merchantman Defender, the unique property of this vessel is that it actually doesn't, although it says it's a two-person ship, it doesn't actually require two people, because you can actually hop from one of these cockpits into the other. So you've seen this is a pretty logical placed cockpit there on the right-hand side for any of you right-handed-sided players. But if you're a lefty, if the door would open, there we go. I think the door's bugged a bit because normally it doesn't, yeah. But if you're a lefty, you can pilot this thing from the left-handed side and enjoy the wonders of flying a ship on the left-hand side for once. No difference whatsoever. So, yeah, you don't need two people to fly it, but it's there. It's doable. It's there and it's functional, which I can't really comment too much on it because it's not something I honestly find to be that useful. But for any players out there who do, then you're in luck. And obviously, the unique thing about this vessel is, of course, that the Banu have made a ship, has made this ship in mind for that humans can also utilize it as well. The Banu are very strange creatures, but again, they are Xenos. You don't know what the hell goes on with them. So, going on from a really interesting ship to a bit of a disappointment is, of course, the Glaive, which in the Star Citizen page says it's a replica. Now, of course, we know better now. I believe this particular vessel is in fact quite an old version. Like this, if you want to see what Star Citizen design was back in 2012, 2013, maybe even 2014, this was it. This is what the Vandal looked like back in those days. I think now they've made some modifications, perhaps, but every time I've taken this ship out into the zone, it has yeah, it's never quite worked for me. It looks like a raider slash barely capable of flying, but somehow does kind of routine, and it does have some things. I mean, there's a certain aesthetic that, yes, it does look intriguing, but at the same time, it also is very, just like, okay. I mean, the main strength of this vessel is, of course, its weapon components, of which this is, in fact, a weapon. These two blasters are size 5, what are known as wraiths, or wraths. I believe they're wraths. And then it's followed by two small, what's called weak laser cannons, which obviously must be sort of a thing there. But still, like, in terms of design mechanics, this kind of ship, it looks okay. It looks slightly cool. I'm more impressed by the colors than the actual aesthetics design of this vessel. But yeah, I can't lie. I'm not overly fussed when it comes to this particular ship. The unique thing about this particular ship, which we can actually open storage. Oh, it has its own storage. Okay, that must be a new feature. I do not recall seeing that feature in the previous editions. Alright, if we can find the pilot bit. Yeah, that's the one thing. You can actually get into the pilot zone. Like some of the fighters, you may think, oh no, I have to rent it before I can get into it. But it's actually, no, you can get into the cockpit. But the problem is, it's a really awkwardly placed cockpit. Even though the canopy thing says it's there, it's not. I was able to get into it yesterday, like when I was trying to film this episode yesterday. So you can see how desperate I am to get into this. But, well, basically, for the sake of time, what else? Oh, he says, zooming in, which causes the game to lag uncontrollably. The way that the ship is designed is basically this little section splits open out, and then you sort of mount on into it, so you're kind of combining yourself into the vessel. So you're not sitting, you're lying down into the vessel, which, for any of you fans of that out there, sure, that's kind of cool, but it's not that appealing in my eyes, and it sounds really uncomfortable after a while. So, again, if you're an alien, you're fine, but still. I don't know, like, for me personally, I don't find this ship that appealing. It doesn't look, apart from maybe the flare and the weapon concept. And I'm sure in combat this thing is lethal, but I've yet to see anyone ever fly this thing. Seriously, outside of IAE, I never see this ship. Even on, I think maybe even Alien Day, but that's about it. Oh, great, I've got the ramp access stuck on my monitor. That's just great. Star Citizen. Oh, there we fixed it. Yes! Wonderful. But in comparison, right, so in comparison to that ship, let's actually go over to a vessel that really does represent the Vanduul. I am, of course, talking about the Asperia Blade. So, the Blade, made by Asperia, who was also responsible for the Glaive, but this one looks to be more of an awesome edition, and in my opinion, is the better of the two Vanduul spacecraft. This is the quintessential design philosophy of the Vanduul. They have some very funky looking designs still. I think they've got a couple of these weird space cannons on the side. Doesn't specifically say what it is, but, well, those are, but on the starters and tools things. Again, my knowledge on Xenocraft is absolutely abysmal. And once again, I'll say that I've not seen this vessel outside of the... Let me try and see if we can get on this little thing. There we go. So, as I said, I haven't been able to see... Like, I haven't seen this vessel outside of the IAE at all, or on Alien Day. But this vessel is, in my opinion, far more impressive in comparison to its counterpart over there, as this feels more like the Vanduul that we're going to be seeing in Squadron 42. It's primitive, but it's tribalistic, but like shadowy. Oh God, words are failing me today. It's sleek but deadly. It's tribal but advanced. It's got that refined, barbarous, savage edge to it, which obviously it's a very powerful ship and has some pretty notable things. If I can get inside the cockpit, oh, I can. Fuck you. I see it. Yes, there we go. So one of the this, as I mentioned with the other previous ship, this particular vessel has a really, in comparison, this cockpit feels extremely yeah, like the music is loud, but the cockpit feels extremely, like, it's extremely claustrophobic. Like, you can see just how much room I take up inside it, and oh my god, it's terrifying. But it's and obviously with this ship design, it's not really meant to be like, I've yet to see this go into combat, but I can imagine it's quite terrifying. Again, you don't really see this ship in, you know, Star Citizen space. A lot of the people fly human ships. So I've never seen this vessel in combat before, but I would love to get into the point where I can engage these things in like a PvE event or something like that. But yeah, so obviously it's very claustrophobic, very cramped, but obviously as part of the Van Duel, they're not, comfort isn't exactly something that is a high list on their priorities. And it definitely feels like a vessel worthy to be called the enemy. And I look forward to seeing these in Star Citizen with flown by AI. Like I've never seen a player fight against that. Maybe they may be like taking it out for a spin, but I've never seen someone actively think, "Ooh, this is a good PvP kind of ship." And I imagine it wouldn't probably fare too well in that respect. But I also feel like it probably would be terrifying to have like swarms of these come at you. You can, in fact, if you go in the Arena Commander, you can engage those things as well. But still, it's not to be recommended, shall we say. Going on over to the Cartual. Yes, the Cartual, the ship of strangeness. This is designed by Aopa, which is another Xeno-loving ship maker, who actually were able to strike a deal with the Xi'an, one of the few companies, human companies, that have been able to actually do this. I think Own Them and Consolidated Outland are like one of the few companies that have worked with it. And the reason for that is the Xi'an are very, very suspicious people. Aliens. They don't like humans. They're not hating on humans. They just don't like us. They don't trust us. And we've not exactly given them good reasons to trust us, considering what we did with the Tavarans and the measure regime. But still, that's besides the point. So this vessel is a light fighter and is going to be soon joined by a medium to heavy fighter. Oh god, the name fails to arrive from me. Not Cartual. I'm gonna put some text in the screen to describe the ship's name, but that ship, which has got some pretty impressive design aesthetics, will be coming in as well, so that's pretty cool. So this vessel has actually got a couple of interesting armaments. It's got size 4 gimbal mounts, which is fantastic. I love a ship with gimbal mounts because it means we can make them into fixed weapons. But it's got 2 size 3 Panther repeaters. That's really good as a beginner weapon. Like as a stock weapon, and they're gimbaled as well, that's pretty fucking awesome. But you can give this thing some size 4s, which is brilliant. And you also have what's known as a capacitor, which I'm not entirely sure where the weapon is for that. I think it's just the Panther repeaters I can see. Yes, it's just the Panther repeaters. So, not a huge amount of armament, but at the same time it's a light fighter. It's not meant to sort of go into heavy combat. The other thing that makes this ship really unique is you won't really see it in the expo, but when this thing takes off, it actually changes, whole ship changes its orientation. It does a Y-wing. And basically, the front section, or that front bit there, actually goes down, and you'll basically fly. You go from a horizontal to a vertical line, and it's quite terrifying. As Xeno ships go, this vessel definitely has a bit of a presence, and you can see from the design of the cockpit, you have extremely good visual. With the exception of these lines here, you have an extremely good overall view of the systems, and I'm not gonna lie, it is. I don't hate on it. I'm not hating on it just because it's Xeno. I don't personally care for the aesthetics of Xeno ships, but this ship's practicality, I can't help but smile at. You know, I like a ship with lots of visuals. I especially like ships where I can look down and see the ground that I'm about to land on. So, big plus for me. And also the fact that this thing has Panther repeaters as a stock weapon, which is pretty cool. You can see it has its own little fancy pants holographic display. So, yes, these Xi'an have got some good stuff, good tech, and are kind of frightening at times with how advanced they are. Oh, or don't. No, no, no. No, 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 no. You could... Let's do the cargo. Wait, what? Oh god, this guy. Oh, right, I gotta be careful. I'm gonna be stopped. I'm gonna have to be careful. Control yourself, Jaeger. Right, anyway, so we go from one set of ships that, while I'm not ever gonna probably like or respect, not ever gonna likely to be purchasing or anything, we now go to ships that I'm not gonna lie, the temptation's there. The temptation, of course, being that of the Talon. Oh, you sexy baby. So, we have a looking here. Sorry. So, we have a Talon. And, oh boy, yeah, this is a very, very nice looking ship. I do like the aesthetics. I like the pearlescent colors. I also like the bird, I like the bird-like aesthetic, the sort of the feathers. It looks incredible. This is, of course, the Tavarin style of ship. One of the only race of aliens in Star Citizen that I quite respect and I quite admire in terms of like how cool they look. Because when you see the Tavarin combat armor and you hear the story of the Tavarin people, it's both tragic and respectable. Because of course the Tavarin were a warlike culture, and I mean were because they've sadly been they're not extinct, but they are. Their culture no longer exists. They don't have their own home planet. They've been absorbed into the UEE, but they are slowly making a good returns. In fact, I believe one of them, in the eyes of the law, was elected to being one of the representatives in the Imperator's Senate. So that's pretty good news. But anyway, we're on ships now. So this is the Talon. This is one of the combat ships or single-seat fighter ships. There's the storage thing as well. That's cool. But this particular ship is quite lethal, as it's designed for a more of a hit-and-run, head-on attack sort of style. The weapons on the side are... Hang on, let's see. So in terms of weapons, you have two, again, like the Cartual, size 4 gimbal mounts, which have size 3 light strike 3 cannons, which are very, very potent. So if you get rid of the gimbal, you can get size 4 of these babies, or hopefully some size 4 weapons, or size 4 of whatever else. You could even get the BD5Bs, should you wish to do so. They also have a couple of size 3... so size 2 missile racks, so a bunch of size 2 missiles as well, if we're going by the logic of the size 2 missiles. So 4 size 2 missiles, so quite a lot of firepower for what is essentially a hit-and-run vehicle. The other thing which is quite nice is it has a sort of phalanx shield style. So all of the stuff is aimed at the front, so it's very much a case of I'm going to break through that blockade, which is pretty cool. Oh, what's this? Oh, hello. I didn't even know that was there. That's really cool. Now, I don't want to rent it. Oh, that's cool. That's one of the components that you can get out. That is a really cool feature. Didn't even know it was there. Ah, there we go. So, let me just open the cockpit. Or is it going to let me open the cockpit? No, open pilot canopy. No, I'm going to have to enter it, am I? Yeah. Right, so... Oh, okay, so that's glitched out. Well, basically, what's unique about this ship, apart from the fact that the showroom model is slightly glitched out for today, is that this entire thing would open up. And then, of course, it would come back down again as you go through. But the other cool thing is that inside this vessel, you can actually talk about... So one of the cool things here is that unlike every other ship, which has, glass or, some whatever this thing utilizes a technology known as... If I can find the little interactable button here, the viewport things. So basically, it projects out the screen in this respect, and as you can also see, the design by the design of this particular pod-like area, you're not really going to be going for anything to your flank. So you're not really going to be able to see who's behind you or anything. It is all about going in through the front. Oh yeah, apologies for the voices, by the way. That is some random human voices or whatever, which is a bit weird. But no, the design of this ship... Oh, wait, now it bloody works. Oh, there you go. So you can actually see what the vessel looks like, which is pretty cool. So, yeah, no, this is cool. I do like this ship. It does. Like I said, I did want it for a small time, but I can't really bring myself to get into the alien style ships because, again, I wouldn't have much of a use for it. It's cool, but the kind of combat style it has, it doesn't really match mine, definitely, for that one. But as ships go, it's fast, it's maneuverable, it has a very, very wide wingspan, so you have to be careful when low flying. But it is one of the more effective ships out there that just looks and feels like a true attacker craft. And as the Tavaran are one of the cooler races in Star Citizen. I do like that. Going from one Talon to the next, we have the Talon Shrike. Now, the difference between this ship and the other is that the Talon Shrike, which of course I forget to move my recording thing, is that it doesn't have as much of a powerful weapon. In fact, it's only got size 1 light strike cannons, which is really quite depressing when you think on it. It's like, that sucks. You know, that truly sucks. But it's fine, because instead of having the cannons, you instead have missiles. And somewhere on this vessel, which I can't honestly remember where, but basically this ship is loaded with missiles. It's got 24 size 3 Arrestor 3 missiles. So if you want to be a missile boat, or missile fighter, that's your ship for it. I'm more of a DACA fan. Missiles are good and all, but they still need to hit lock and hit the target. Whereas, give me some laser blasters in this game, and I'll be far more effective as a combat fighter. But still, it is a very cool, very nice looking ship. But again, the combat style is something I'm not overly keen on. But still, nonetheless, really, really nice. And before we go to visiting, well, to be fair, I gotta have a look at the mining and the cargo thing just to see what they look like. But before that, let us look at one of the sexiest troop transports you'll see in, well, to be fair, one of the sexiest Zeno troop transports you'll see in this game. I am, of course, talking about the Prowler. So, the Prowler, one of the sleekest, most... Well, it's basically the Talon on steroids. And it can transport troops. So, the Prowler is a sort of... I would consider it more of a Spec Ops troop transport than an actual combat ship. Fucking Star Citizen. Swear to God. Like, you get some players in here who just fuck around royally, but Jesus, if that's not an Origin Jumpworks ship user, I don't know what is. But anyway, going on into the Prowler. So this basically is, I would consider it more of a Spec Ops style ship in terms of like its sleekness and its unique design. So obviously, it is a troop transport vessel, can take up to about 10 troops, maybe 12, like a full platoon size, or like full Imperial Guardsman squad slash maybe platoon 12 guys, with the unique element of this sort of shielded. It doesn't show it now, but basically these are ray shielded, so as you go into the combat zone, you're not likely to be shot on the sight. Second, these wing flaps things actually deploy down to the ground, giving your crew initial cover whilst you are attempting to make a landing. And then, of course, once you take off, you then go into the different zone, which is pretty cool. So you have one way of getting in, which is this back area here, and there's and it has a very unique. I like the design. I like the red. God, the monotone voice that some of these these humans have, honestly. But as you can see, there's actually, to be fair, I might have been mistaken, because you can have quite a few. So there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Well, yeah, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, so definitely an Imperial Guardsman squad. In terms of like 10 at least, but probably, yeah, easily a platoon's worth of soldiers, which is pretty impressive. You have a whole host of different weapons as well. Oh, there's also an entrance way to this here as well. So you have a sort of side panel entrance, but the primary way I like to go in is through this one here because it's cool. You have a very Darth Vader style way to get through, but still, I forgot about that one, to be honest with you. Yes, it's been a while since I've seen a Prowler, to be honest with you. They're not that common. Again, the sad fact about all of these alien ships is they're not that common, which I'm hoping in, like, the future, there's going to be some kind of clause to make that would make it make sense to take a Zeno ship in. But at the moment, there are so many human ships that are just kind of better and easier to work with that you just see those more often. But maybe I said maybe it's just my personal experience, but I'd love to hear your thoughts if to whether or not you see more alien ships out there, or are they actually just not that common. So here's the cool thing about the Prowler, which I do like. Similar to the Banu Defender, the pilot and the co-pilot can fly the ship, and you can have, and both should have reasonable amounts of control. The only real difference is the view that you get. So this is the co-pilot's view, and as you can see, ooh, it sounds so nice. So as you can see, the co-pilot can have a pretty reasonable view. Again, similar to the Talon, it's not very, it's not spatially aware of itself, I should say, but it's still pretty good. It has access. You have access to the weapon systems, and it is pretty funky on that one. But if you climb up, probably what is the coolest looking ladder you will see. It almost feels like a jump there. Which also has access to all the different component modules. You then get access to the official pilot seat, which is up here. So the pilot is actually quite separated from this thing, and he does have a bit more of a view. He does have more options when it comes to, like, spatial awareness. But again, this particular vessel, this particular thing is, it's all about being frontally pushed. And to be fair, the story about this ship is ridiculous. You've got stories from the Tavaran War, where this particular event, during that war, this ship was actually quite feared because of its blitzkrieg-style attacks, where it would basically zip in, nuke your front line, and get the hell out of Dodge before even anyone could react. Like, this ship was a hit-and-run monstrosity, and it was deadly. And then on top of that, you've got a large squad of troops that can be deployed as well. It's ridiculous. It's actually, quite terrifying when you think about that. But no, the Prowler, it is a very, very good ship. And in terms of weapons, it has two. Okay, so we have one Prowler turret, which oh yes, of course. I completely forgot about the turret. There's a lot I've forgotten about these things. Again, I'll be brutal with you guys. My knowledge on alien ships is quite poor, and I do apologize for that. I think I need to probably spend a bit more time running around with this particular. Maybe I should spend more time utilizing alien ships. Maybe I might get a bit more of an understanding for them. But the main weapons, of course, are the size 4 Deadbolt 4 cannons, which, to be fair, they're going to gimbal. So you know what that means. You can make them fixed, and that's going to be cool. Because, seriously, size 5 fixed weapons are devastating. And while maybe they would affect your power-to-weight ratio, maybe you won't be able to get the kind of weapons you want, they're still fucking deadly. And if you don't want to change them out, you've got size 4 energy cannons. They will fuck a lot of things up. Sure, they won't go through it like a ballistic weapon will, but Jesus Christ, they'll slap someone for sure. Oh, this is a great... And I also love the Tavaran-style design of the arrow at the bird-like features at the front. It looks really cool, and I'm very keen on this particular style of ship when it comes to Xenotech. But again, it's something that I don't personally see a lot of, so I'm hoping that there'd be someone in the comments to say about how it goes. But yeah, this ship is both beautiful and I like it. As I said, Tavaran ships are probably the only alien ships I honestly like. I gotta have a look at that. So yeah, we're gonna have a look next. But yes, so this looks wonderful, and I hope that you guys enjoy this ship, because I do. I may not know enough about it. I've been in it and I've been part of it, but I've not been in control of one a lot. I've mostly been just the guy jumping out of the side or shooting out the rear. But I can say that as a combat ship goes, this vessel is definitely very, very viable. Though, again, I would feel it's more of a spec op style ship, not a troop transport style ship. But that's neither here or there. So, before we get to the weird ship in the middle, let's have a look at these little side panels here. So this is new. This is very new. This is really cool. Oh, wow. Oh, that's so cool. Hang on, let's have a look-see. So, is there, like... Okay, so this is like a show... Oh, wow. So this is like, you know how in the event grounds there's those sort of hallways that are... Really loud music. But there is those, you know, those little in-between halls. I think they've finally done something with them, which... Oh, that's fantastic. I love this. That's really cool. Yeah, there's,
This is a friendly reminder that the Tobin Expo Center is a shared space.
Wow, that's cool. So basically, it showcases the kind of stuff you'll be doing, well, I'm gonna be doing in this game as well, and getting hands-on. Oh, nice. Some miners get their hands dirty, but oh yeah, so it actually shows all the different tools. So there's the Grey Cat multi-miner, you've got the object tool stuff. And this is a really good way of introducing mining to people who've not played Star Citizen before. Staying grounded, specialist vehicles can... Yeah, the fucking ROC. Oh, God, the ROC. Like, in terms of ground vehicles, in terms of ground mined vehicles, I've actually been doing in like the recent... Well, in my last few Star Citizen live streams, I have been messing around with the ROC and the Cutlass Black in terms of, you know, flying around with it. And I won't lie, they've done something to tweak the ship's, the ROC's weight, because it's nowhere near as like wavy as it once was. It, you know, it's not as top heavy. It handles a lot better than it used to, and it does have a, and it also does have a reasonably decent mining laser for its range. Like, it's, I still think I have yet to do videos and / research on to how the ROC DS, which is the larger, has more wheels, has a larger cargo bay, and internally has an internal bay inside for the others, but the other mining laser outside. So I've yet to pull the research in for that, but what I can say is that the ROC as it is at the moment is not bad. It's a lot better than it used to be. It still has that glitch where if you fuck up and press a button in the wrong way, it will basically, that mining laser will shoot 90 degrees up, and if you're in a Cutlass Black where there's not much roof room, you will bugger that ship. So be careful. But at the same time, it's not done too bad. And oh yeah, there's the Grey Cat stuff in the distance. I'm gonna hit the frame loss here, but I am liking that. That is cool. That is pretty cool. So let's have a look. So United workers, unlimited prospects. Yep, I've been mining a fair amount. It shows all the different minables as well, and that's a really good way of teaching players what Dolvine looks like. And let me guess, is this Aphorite? Oh no, Hadnite. So I'm guessing... Okay, so they put Hadnite in the middle. That kind of makes sense. Oh, and it moves as well. Didn't even realize. Wait, can I fuck around with it? No, okay. But yeah, so you can see the different sort of... yeah, you can see the difference of what it looks like, what to look out for. In comparison, yeah, no, that's cool. I like that. I respect that. And, of course, you can see the different... you see, this is slightly misleading. Because the thing is, while, yes, all three of these backpacks are viable and they do work for the back of this... I wonder if I get killed if I hit this. Nope. Okay, that's fine. I was going to say, like, if that was a legitimate mining laser, that just, like... so get fucked. Ooh, is that a pair of binos? Okay. I'm curious. How do I use those while wearing that? It doesn't really make much sense, does it? To have a pair of binoculars. Don't get me wrong, that's the first pair of binoculars I've seen in Star Citizen. And, happy story? Nice. But yes. Okay, so this is a weird-looking mineable rock. Although it looks like he's mining this rock here, not the weird crystals on the side. But I will say, as an experienced miner, I will say this. Those backpacks, yes, they're good, but they don't contain that much. If you want a good backpack, you need the Noviakov backpack or the Pembroke backpack, which is basically the massive backpack the dedicated suits have, as its internal carry capacity is 120k of SCU, which I can't remember or see SCU. So it's not actually K's worth and thousands of SCU, but instead it's sort of like a large, it's like a large, it's like a half size sort of thing. So basically that particular design of SCU, those particular bags, to sort of summarize that segment, they're good and they'll give you a good head start. But if you want a good backpack that you can survive in the wilderness more, then the Noviakov or Pembroke backpacks are much better because they have a much larger carry capacity. And if you're, for example, kind of a freelancer where you're going in and around the sort of being a mercenary / being a miner, then it makes more sense because these things can, carry more. And now we reach the cargo bit. So this is another room / entranceway sort of thing, which we'll be able to walk through, which is nice. And this is all about cargo. Oh, what's this? What are these? Are these tractor beams? Class 5 energy emitter. What am I shooting? Or is that a delayed reaction from the thing? What are these? Is this... Are these tractor beams? They feel like tractor beams. Well, let's say they feel, but you know what I mean. So this is the cargo bay. Or we have Lando Calrissian. But yes, these, of course, is the cargo bay, which at the moment is in the... we're getting into the... Oh, hello. What are you? You're new? You're the big... Oh. You're the big tractor beam things, which... I want to call you the gravity gun because you do look like the gravity gun. I mean, not exact match for the gravity gun, but still, gravity gun. But yes, no. So basically, the cargo refactor is currently, going into its sort of latter stages, and as a result, we'll be seeing, eventually, we'll be seeing stuff like this being the norm when it comes to loading and unloading your ship's cargo, which, in my opinion, I like a lot. I am a bit of a sad git when it comes to cargo, in the sense that oh wow, this is going to be something. Oh wow, that's really cool. Oh, that's really cool. I like this a lot. Like, yes, again, I admit I'm a bit of a sad shit. I am excited for cargo work, because what this means is that you'll get vessels like this beauty from Argo Aeronautics, you sexy baby, which is an MPUV. This particular vessel it's kind of one of those ships that has multiple options for it. It's basically, you attach a pod. So in this case, it's a cargo pod. You would go in, and this will be more of a planet-side sort of hauler / trawler sort of thing. So nothing fancy. It is literally designed for just, I need to get A to B without needing a big ship. So this particular ship will get that done. I personally like this ship a lot. And while I don't at this moment have one because unfortunately don't have a use for it, it is really, really cool. And I do want to be in a position where I need to use one at some point. That's right, I want CIG to make me have to use this thing because I love it. It looks so cool. It's cargo based. It looks incredible. And I'm excited as all hell for when the cargo becomes a mandatory thing to sort out. Now, I know that some people out there may not find this appealing. I am really curious as to what these things are. This must be a tractor beam. There's nothing on the stands, though, that says what this is. But, yeah, so basically the big cool thing here is that you've also got the mule as well, which is the Drake Mule. One of the really cool, like, ground vehicles that you can... Hello, what's this? Oh, it's the hatch as well. Nice. So basically, this is one of the ground vehicles that you'll be able to put cargo into, and you'll sort of load cargo into this little module here. You plop the cargo in, you drive it out, you get your tractor beam, you plonk the boxes down. It's going to be cool. And again, I am extremely sad because for me, that's a wet dream of mine for Star Citizen. Like, I want to wake up one day on my day off and be like, fuck, I gotta load like 5 ships and I've got like 3 hours to do it. Okay, let's get going. And I basically run around with a forklift, I run around with a fucking Drake, I run around with a MPUV, I grab my gear, I put the shit into the cargo bay, and I load up some ships. And if that's something I just spend half my day doing, I would love that, because that's the kind of player I am. And Star Citizen knows it. Wait, what? Oh, I can sit on it. Motherfucker, I thought you said I could loot that for a second. But yeah, this is we're going to have dedicated forklift clans, I swear to God. Knowing video game players, there are going to be clans of forklift drivers and be like, are you certified to use that piece of gear? I mean, to be fair, if there is a forklift guy certification, if there are forklift drivers out there who play this game, I think this will be a really awesome niche. I do forklifting in my job, and then when I get home, I forklift some more. Oh, jeez. Of course, also, in terms of cargo, we do have the very famous Hull C, which now has finally been released and is currently looking absolutely gorgeous. I love this. This is a really good... I love this trailer. It's a really, really, really good trailer. The music, the vibe, the feeling you get, it's a fantastic ship. And as it's considered the most most common vessel in the galaxy, supposedly, it is, or the universe, no, in the Star Citizen universe, it's the most common ship, and it just looks good. But the trailer is fantastic. It's whoever did this trailer, give them a medal. Because it looks so good, the music's so it's a nice, slow, relaxing, enjoyable, and it just, it looks so good, and I love it, and it's fucking awesome, and you can see the MPUVs, and I'm like, I love good. So, as we make our way down into the depths, we are greeted with the Nox by Aopa. These are, of course, the flashy, rather chunky... So, we've been talking about all of the strange and intriguing alien ships out there. I've been gushing at the new internal segments, the mining and the cargo, and... now let's look at the last and new ship, if I want to call it that, to join the roster of alien ships, the Suen? Sulen? I'm going to call it the Sulen. I'm going to assume the Y is a silent letter. So, this thing is... size 3 gun mounts... So I'm not going to lie, I'm looking at the Star Citizen tools because I honestly have no idea what the fuck this thing is. So this is apparently a cargo ship. A small cargo ship, because it apparently can only transport up to 6 SCUs worth of cargo. But it's got some pretty sizable weapons, and as we can see here, are they gimbaled? I see... no, they're not gimbaled. Okay, so these are Panther repeaters. Size 3s as well. Jesus. I say they're Panther repeaters, but you know what I mean. But they are the good repeaters. So for stock weapons on that, and it also has 12 size 2. So there's 3 times 3 size 3s, and then you've got size 2 missiles. So what's this? Okay. This is the first time I'm entering into this. This is made by Gatic, so I'm gonna say this is a Xi'an style ship. Yes, that's Xi'an. That has to be Xi'an. Oh, wait. There's a cabin? There's the airlock. Ooh. Okay. This is definitely Xi'an. And... ooh. The chair as well. Oh, wow. This is very fancy. Like, this is very fancy. Come on. Open sesame. What's inside? Oh, is this the light? It is as well. Most intriguing. I won't lie, this is a first time perspective. I've never actually been on this ship before. So this is a unique experience. Oh, hello, what's this? Oh, is that interactable? Oh, so this is like you can call the elevator if someone's gone up. And this is a very strange vessel. So this is very, very Spartan in its living accommodations. Very limited amounts of view. So then, of course, we get the interactable going up to the cockpit. And... okay, so... yeah, you're not really designed to live in anything. So this is the cockpit. Does this, like... I'm guessing this goes, like, you okay, so you take a seat. And then... oh, you get taken up there. Oh, it spins you around. Okay, that's disorientating. Jesus. What the fuck? Okay. Yeah, this is Alien. What the okay, that's... I'll be honest with you, this is a really weird looking ship. I was right with the Panthers. So, like, this ship is weird. Like, I think I might have the photo for this ship, or the screenshot for this ship. There you go. But yeah, like, this is a weird ship, and how in the bloody hell are you supposed to land this thing? Like, taking off, sure, you're looking straight up, you just zerg forwards, you know, voomp. But, like, how the fuck are you supposed to land this thing? I'll be honest with you, I'm curious to see how people will land this thing, because I don't think I could. This is definitely not a no for me, but this is just weird. Like, it's strange, and... ugh. Oh, hello. Now, there's the ball. I'm stroking the ball. Anyway, yeah, this is I mean, I said, I don't think I could ever own an alien ship like this, but Jesus, this is going to be a bitch to land. I will give it credence, though. I love the visuals. Like, I have such good peripheral vision. It's beautiful. Towards my rear, not so much, but if I'm looking down, yep, I can see the bottom, I can see the top, I can see sort of to my left, sort of to my right. And this is a cargo ship, but a very small cargo ship. So I don't really know what I don't really feel this is a cargo ship. Like, it has 3 cargo racks on the exterior, it can carry, yeah, 6 SCU. This is a really, really, really small cargo ship. So, I want to say this is not... I personally want to say this isn't a cargo ship, but it apparently is a cargo ship. But it's really small cargo. I'm confused. I'm not going to lie. I am genuinely confused as to why this thing is even here. But, hey-ho, it's a thing. It's there. Can't lie about that. It's definitely a thing. And, oh, this is disorientating. Oh, you try flying this ship whilst being high or drunk, you're going to be puking. Ah, so here is the little call thing. So if I press this... yep, there we go. Someone's arrived. And then if I want to get off this thing... okay. This is a weird ship. It's a very... I mean, in terms of being a unique ship, oh, it's definitely unique. It's very unique. And, yeah, it's very Alien. I can't... if you had to describe Alien in Star Citizen, you're looking at it. It's very much a case of, there it is. And it's a new ship. They've been working on it. CIG have been working on it secretly. And it very much looks the part of a Zeno ship. Very kooky. Very strange. But... I'll be honest with you, I don't know what to say. I definitely want to speak with a couple of my friends about it, because, oh my god, it's so weird. It's really, really weird. But anyway, on to the last segment of our video, the holodecks. So, as we make our way down into the depths, we are greeted with the Nox by Aopa. These are, of course, the flashy... rather chunky looking speeder bikes, which have a couple of size 1 repeaters from Panther. Well, I know they're officially called Panther, but you know what I mean. Like I only, whenever I see this, my brain only can say Panther repeaters. So, but these are the good repeaters. So you're not bad for a stock loadout. But the problem is, as speeder bikes go, I don't think I've ever utilized a speeder bike that is so wanting to kill its driver as the Nox. In comparison to the Dragonfly, this thing just wants to plummet its nose into the ground faster than you can say, oh shit. It's really bad. If you if you're new to Star Citizen and you're just getting into speed bikes, don't get this. It's gonna kill you. You're gonna spend more time in the ground and respawning than you would ever trying to use these things. And bearing in mind as well, bearing in mind with if soft death, if permadeath ever becomes a thing, these vehicles will need to be recalled because, oh my god, the amount of players who will have lost everything because they thought they could fly in Nox. Anyway, so let's now head over to the last segment, which is, of course, the holodeck. This is where we all look at all the holographic displays, and I get to give my opinions on what ships are planning to come in the future. And it's a really good, and in my opinion, I kind of like it, because when I go back into, if I ever come back to viewing these videos in the future, I can go, oh my god, I remember when this thing was being announced, like I did when it came to the Vulture. So, yes, this is it, the Gatic Raylan. No, that's not that thing I was thinking on. Forget what I just said. So this is the cargo ship, Gatic Raylan. There was another ship I was thinking of, but it wasn't this one. So this is the first forays into the human market. The Raylan is an elegant, impressive vessel, very human or Xi'an pilot for safe, reliable solution for commercial trade. Xi'an Empire has trusted House Gatic with its production of industrial ventures for centuries. So as mentioned, Gatic is one of the few companies that was able to strike a deal with the Xi'an, who somehow were able to make their ships capable of being flown by humans and Xenos alike. And it does look cool. It looks very, very intriguing, and I do like the fact that this ship has that unique style to it, whilst also retaining that sort of cargo, the rigid solidity of cargo. Very nice looking vessel. Very, very nice looking vessel. Going on into the middle room, I think we've got the ship that everyone's pining for, the Banu Merchantman. So the Merchantman is quite a famous vessel at this point. It's one of the few. It's probably going to be one of the largest vessels in the game once it comes out. And well, I say largest vessel. It's going to be bigger than it will be considered the largest flyable vessel when it comes out, because it will be bigger than the. I do believe it will be bigger than it will be bigger than the 890 jump, which, to be fair, will make me smile, because it'll take the fucking glim off their faces, and it'll also serve a really unlike the 890 jump, it'll serve a practical purpose. That being, of course, the ability to trade in an easy to utilize format, which is pretty cool. So I'm not a huge fan. I mean, I said I think it's cool. I'm not a hyper fan of it. I know a few friends of mine who are super mega hooked onto it. But yeah, this vessel, it looks good. It looks very impressive. I'm very curious to see how it will fare when it does come to being released. But I will say this: it looks nice, and it feels like a really, really nice looking vessel. And I'm intrigued to see how it will fare when it does eventually come out. And this is what I was talking about. Right, so fuck you. You serious? Is it not gonna is it gonna I'm sorry. I love it. I thought, hey, I can get the screen to confirm what this vehicle's name is, and it's fucking disconnected. Oh my god. Well, as said, I'm gonna put another thing. So, poink. this is the thing that I was talking about earlier. This is the other fighter coming out of Gatic, which is the more heavily armed fighter aircraft, and it does look pretty cool. I think this is the first time I've seen it in Star Citizen, and although it's very much white box phase, you can see its design philosophy and what it hopes to be. I personally like it quite a bit, more so than the Kartu Al. I think I'm starting to have an appreciation for Zeno aircraft, which is kind of worrying. But still, it looks intriguing. I do like this aesthetic. I think we're starting to see some really intriguing and interesting designs coming out of CIG. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing what the future holds for that ship. I don't imagine we'll be seeing it anytime soon, but hey-ho, you never know. And like that, sadly, this brings our day to a sadly it comes to the first day coming to its end. So thank you all very much if you've gotten this far. I do very much appreciate it. Let me know what you think of the ships in the comments section down below. This whole thing is, of course, both a video to showcase my experiences, but this also is an opportunity for us to start a discussion talking about all the different ships that you like or dislike, and if you have any sort of different opinions on some of the vessels, you think that they might be better or worse, you're not a huge fan of cargo, or you think that maybe there should be more alien ships in the universe, I'm definitely down for that. Someone left a medi pen. Someone couldn't take the car. I mean, I don't blame you if you could take the cargo bay, or if you got into Gatic, whatever the fuck that is, and felt sick, I don't blame you. But still, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and if you like this, let me know in the comment section down below, clicking on the like button, and of course subscribing to the channel. And I will see you in day 2, which will be recorded in about a few hours time for me. Yay. I got lots to do. And I'll catch you guys in the next one, where it will be Aegis! Aegis! Oh, I love it so much. I'll see you then.